Good afternoon to everybody who's joining us for the session of Live at the Waterhole. A very warm welcome. My name's Chad Hobson. I'm going to be your naturalist for the afternoon. And I do hope everybody's having a fantastic start to their week. Just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show. So please do send through your questions and comments to us. You can use the hashtag WildEarth on X. You can join the conversation on our YouTube channel. Or if you would like to subscribe, you can do so on our website. Or even download the WildEarth app on any of the app stores. So we are starting out the show here at Tembe Elephant Park, which is in northern Zululand, with a couple of Inyalas. I think it's Inyalas. I know it's Impala. Don't see any white stripes that are just resting. And I think a lot of the country at the moment is overcast and rainy. I think animals are very happy with the rain, and I think quite grateful that it's not too hot. Talking about the weather, why don't we have a look at the different locations and see what is happening? So it does seem like it is pretty rainy all around the country. I mean, here where I am at the moment in Johannesburg, it is very, very overcast. There was a massive storm this morning. I'm sure there is more rain on the way, and we've got to be very, very blessed because this is nice late rain in the season. And so I think everyone and all the animals are very happy that there is a little bit more moisture that's falling. I mean, you'll often find that the animals will utilize the cooler weather. Some animals, like the cats, they will often be a little bit more active throughout the day. So maybe there's a chance that at some point, somewhere along the line, one of the locations, there might be a predator or two. That would be fantastic. I know there was quite a lot of movement of predators around the different locations this morning. We'll just have to wait and see if we are lucky enough. Warren Brown is there, saying from a cold, wet Pretoria. Hello, guys. Hello to you, Warren. Thanks for tuning in. It's also, I think the weather's very similar in Johannesburg at the moment. It's quite cold, and this is, I can only imagine the weather most of the time around the UK. Very overcast, cold, rainy, drizzling. Does seem like there's also a bit of a breeze there at Tembe. You can see the trees are all moving, and often that will bring in the weather or the cold front, which is often then will bring that rain. Okay, well, let's head over to Victoria Falls and we can have a look, see what's around there. Oh, it's the Vulture Restaurant. It's the feeding frenzy. It's always amazing to watch the vultures feed, and I mean, it's literally like a free for all almost when they do drop the carcasses around this area. You can see they're still fighting on the right hand side there. There are also quite a few marabou storks that are around here. They're one of the birds that will also eat any scraps that they can find. Literally, marabou storks will eat anything. Karen Fisher, good morning. You're saying good morning from Ohio. Good morning to you, Karen. Liz, you asking, do lions and predators move around more in this weather? For sure, they do. They definitely will make use of the cooler weather, and they'll move around a lot more opportunity to look to hunt. And because they don't have to use so much energy while they're moving around in the cooler weather, whereas if it's very, very hot, they do use up a lot more energy while moving around. So that's why they tend to try and save it for once the sun does set, and they then are able to move around in the cooler weather. That's why I was saying a little bit earlier that there's a chance that there could be some predators that we do get to see. We've got to be very lucky, and I should have put my lucky sandals on this morning. Jordan saying my all-terrain lucky sandals, indeed, can take me anywhere. RJT saying hello everybody, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is good. I'm doing good. And he's saying rainy here in the UK. There's a lot of it about, seemingly. There is a lot of rain around literally the whole world at the moment, which is great though, for sure. And you're saying good afternoon, Chad, from a warm and sunny UK. You must be in a different area compared to RJT. You're saying that it's rainy up in the UK, but the UK is quite a big area. But good afternoon to you, Diane. Nicholas, you're asking how marabou stalks. Nicholas, you're asking how marabou stalks different to vultures. Um, So I mean, like you can see the difference in them. So vultures, I mean, they have a lot shorter legs compared to the marabou storks, much bigger. The bills are also very different. So I mean, the marabou stork, that bill isn't able to get into the small places where, say, for instance, a hooded vulture is able to get into. So they'll only take the bigger scraps that they can find. Um, and vultures, I mean, vultures are more, they'll follow carcasses around and things like that. Marabou storks, they will also follow carcasses, but they literally are scavenger birds. They literally can feed on anything. Their bill also isn't really designed to open up carcasses like vultures are. So they sort of first have to wait for the vultures to open it up before they then do get in. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of the vultures are now slowly starting to take off and heading away from this vulture restaurant. Why don't we head over to Naledi and see what's happening there? Oh, elephant bull coming down to Naledi to have a drink. Two elephant bull. Oh, they might have a little bit of a standoff. You can see that younger one, the one on the right hand side, actually just moved away from the water. Caitlin, boss. Good evening from a dark Australia. Good evening to you, Caitlin. It's amazing how elephants, they really do have the respect for their elders or the bigger ones. I mean, as soon as the bigger one came down, that younger one just moved off a little bit to the side just to give him a little bit of a gap. Always beautiful to see elephants coming down to drink. Oh, as beautiful as these elephants are drinking here. Let's head over to Juma and see what might be around. How incredible. We've got lions at Juma. Brilliant. Does seem like it is raining at Juma at the moment. Interesting. Jordan, do you know what lions these are? Are they around this morning? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure just yet which lions these are, but hopefully we are able to find out. But how incredible. I mean, we were just speaking about the lions and predators and how they move around during the cooler parts of the day. Oh, it's going to walk off. Oh, I mean, it was short and sweet, but that lioness does seem to have moved off. Let's head back over to Naledi, and if this lioness does come back, we will then come back to Juma. Only some people are thinking that it could be the Telemati lioness. Not going to say 100% sure, but let's wait and see. Maybe they'll come back down towards the water. John Miller is saying, well, first time we saw a predator at a waterhole. Incredible. I'm very glad you got to see your first predator. Short and sweet, but it was a lioness nonetheless. Apologies for that. The big sneeze. Daniel, you're saying such wonderful, peaceful sounds. It is, and that's what Live at the Waterhole is also about. I mean, it's amazing that I can narrate what's happening and answer all the questions and things like that. But it's also just about taking in nature. And for the naturalist myself, just to let you enjoy what we've seen. So nice and peaceful. William, you're asking why do elephants stand still sometimes? So sometimes when you see an elephant and like it's just standing still and it's got its head sort of tilted off to the left hand side or right hand side, it's trying to figure out what's happening, or it might have heard something a little bit off in the distance and it's just trying to sort of assess the situation. So that's why you'll sometimes see elephants keeping very, very still. Sometimes, like if the elephant's trying to suss you out, even like they'll walk away, but then they'll turn their heads, tilt them to the side because their eyes on the side of their heads. They just need to tilt it a little bit and they'll be able to almost see behind them. And just keep an eye on you. These elephants really do seem like they're happy having a drink here at the water. Sometimes you find elephants come to the water, they have a quick drink and then they leave, but today these elephants are really enjoying. Does seem like that younger elephant bull has moved away from the waterhole. Franklin, you're saying you love how elephants sway back and forth sometimes when they're standing. I think they're carrying such a huge amount of weight that they often will sway back and forth. Sometimes you'll even see elephants will take their one foot and lean it up against the other one. It's almost just to take the weight off their feet. And imagine walking around with 3 or 4 tons. And only imagine their feet must get quite sore. But also the elephants, you can see the swaying of the tail. Often, if an elephant does get quite angry or uncertain of things, they often will stiffen their tail out or put their tail up and keep it stiff, and that's often then you must start being a little bit weary of the elephant. You can only imagine how many liters of water these elephants do drink at a time. And there's an area up in northern KwaZulu-Natal where you can do an elephant interaction. So there's an elephant called Rambo, which is a massive elephant bull, and he's able to take a big bucket, which is about 20 liters of water, one gulp, into his trunk and spray it into his mouth. And elephants can sometimes have 6 or 7 trunkfuls really of water. You might find these 2 elephant bulls, they'll spend time together, and sometimes they'll then separate. But you won't always find these 2 bulls necessarily together. As these 2 elephant bulls do wander off from Naledi, why don't we head over to Tembe Elephant Park and see what's happening. From 3 elephants to 3 more elephants. How beautiful is that? Elephants, all of them have actually very beautiful tusks. The one on the far right hand side does seem a lot bigger compared to the other 2. And it's one of the only or one of two places really that still have tuskers within South Africa. At the Tembe Elephant Park, and then also within the Kruger National Park. Actually, I was lucky enough to see in 2014 elephant bull by the name of Isilo. It was a massive tusker up in Tembe. His tusks almost touched the floor. Whenever he had to walk, he almost had to lift his head a little bit as he was walking, wandering around. Yeah, I think Isilo actually was the largest elephant bull that was around in the southern hemisphere, which is pretty incredible. And he used to spend quite a lot of time within this area where we are now at this water. Oh, there's also a warthog. You see those two younger bulls, they want to have a bit of a go with one another. The older bulls, you can see they're not interested. Just like young kids, always playing around with one another, pushing one another around. Exactly the same with elephants. That's one of the reasons that the matriarch will actually kick the elephant bulls out. It's because they're around about the age of 18 or so. It's when their testosterone starts to flow quite steadily through their body. And they then do start to cause a bit of havoc within the herd, starting to push the females around and things like that. And that's when the matriarch will then kick that male out, and they'll then spend time alone or within a small little bachelor herd, just like they are here. That's the noise that I was hearing. I thought we were hearing elephants in the water, but it's this elephant right under the. I was very confused what was happening there. Saw no movement in the water, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Dark Main Lover saying, "Good day, Chad Hobson. Thank you for your time here at the Waterholes. Your commentary and phenomenal knowledge is very much appreciated." Saying you'd love to see me in the driver's seat again soon. Thanks very much, Dark Main Lover. I do appreciate your kind words, and hopefully I will be in the driver's seat at some point soon. I'll be more than happy to head back up to Juma. Rosemary asking, are there any breeding herds at Tembe? It seems I only see elephant bulls. There are breeding herds of elephants up at Tembe for sure. I know when I was there I did see quite a number of different herds. Maybe they just haven't appeared while we've been live. Maybe we've just been unlucky to miss them. So the noise we were hearing a little bit earlier was that elephant is creating a little bit of mud to throw on himself, and they'll often do that by kicking their feet forward and backwards to get the nice sludge that they'll then throw on themselves to make a little bit of a protective layer. Also try and get rid of those parasites. It's a beautiful scene that we got here, the dark clouds above, elephants moving around, and listening to all the different birds. Yeah, so we did see that that lioness at Juma, but there were some lions that actually came down to this specific waterhole exactly where we are right now, called the November males. Why don't we take a look at the clip quickly? How beautiful is that? Oh, beautiful big male lions, beautiful dark manes. incredible male lions. I'm sure they dominate probably most of Tembe Elephant Park. I'm sure because it's a little bit overcast, a little bit cooler, they probably are still moving around, resting, moving, resting, moving, resting. Dark mane lover is saying that these lions are very handsome with the dark, beautiful manes. They are indeed. I mean, such a magnificent, majestic animal. And we're now back live at Tembe, just where those male lions were walking. Darcy Miller couldn't agree more. He's saying gorgeous lions. They are very, very beautiful. Elephants really do seem like they're having the best time around the waterhole here. Looked like that elephant wanted to drink that water. I can only imagine how dirty that water must be. It's just been kicking it around, sloshing it around, trying to make as much mud as possible. Oliver, you're saying that you love these elephants. Elephants is often a firm favorite for a lot of people. I mean, it seems like most of them have moved off, but luckily we've still got the one here. Tusk also does curve quite a lot. It's like almost curves upwards. It's got a beautiful shape to it. Amazing how beautiful and lush it also is here in Tembi. And compared to, say, for instance, Madikwe, we spend quite a lot of time at Tau and Jamala. It's very, very different. And it's just because it's a different part of the country. Also, a lot of humidity up in northern KwaZulu-Natal, so there's a lot of moisture in the air. So a lot of the area does stay a lot greener. There's a bit of a tussle going on there in the background. And it's once again between those two younger bulls, maybe trying to see which one is stronger or bigger. Those two young ones are having the time of their lives, and the bigger elephant bulls couldn't actually be asked about what they do. Just going about feeding. Well, now that bigger one is actually getting involved. Or he's actually giving himself a bit of a belly scratch. Amazing what animals will find to get rid of a scratch. Looks like it almost broke that little termite mound there. Lots of nice green, lush leaves for these animals to feed on around the waterhole here at Tembe. Yeah, well, all these elephants do just enjoy feeding on these trees around the waterhole here. Let's change it up and head over to Kwamaratan. Just two terrapins hitching a lift, free ride on the hippo. I'm sure if that hippo was sleeping and very, very still, the terrapins did climb up. They didn't really know what they were climbing up on. But it's a nice place. It's probably quite a safe place to be, I would say, on the back end of a hippo. I've actually seen it a few times where terrapins will actually eat the ticks off the back end of a hippo. But also, go into the mud wallow or the water backwards, where it has its head like right on the bank just to rest it out the water. And often you'll find terrapins and things like that eating away around the bum, where all that nice soft skin is, where all the ticks will be. Sandra is saying what a difference to last week. Looks more like England now. It's so green. It is very, very green. I mean, especially there where we were up at Tembe Elephant Park. And often that whole KwaZulu-Natal region, um, it's very often very, very green. Doesn't actually get too dry up there. Real Greens is saying Turpin's renting a hippo pad. I don't think they're going to be paying at all. It's just hitching a free ride on the hippo. Also, it's amazing to get a nice close-up view of a hippo. Oh, those terrapins might be moving off. I think those terrapins are holding on for dear life on the back of this hippo. It doesn't seem to be making too many big movements. Oh, how beautiful is that? One of them is gone. Let's see if he maybe does climb back. Darkman Lover is saying that the hippo is the Uber for terrapins. 100%. For sure, it's the free bush Uber. Candace is saying you actually love terrapins. A lot of people do enjoy seeing the terrapins. Amazing how small those hippo's ears are compared to. Oh, there's another big yawn. Oh, and there goes another terrapin. I think this hippo is just showing off. It literally does just seem like this hippo is just having fun here at Kwamaraton in the Pilansberg National Park. Maybe he actually could feel the terrapins on the back, and that's why he did that sort of little roly-poly over to get them off. Soul Loves Nature is saying, roll over, time for some belly scratches. I'd love to see somebody try give a hippo a belly scratch. I would be very far away. At least this hippo is keeping all of us entertained. Maybe he's gone to bed now. Often you'll find in hippos, they do sleep. Their head often will be under the water, and then they'll just often come up every 4 or 5 minutes, take a breath, and then go back down. So he might be sitting here for a little while to see if he brings his head up once again. You might be. I think he's done most of his entertaining now. Seems like he's taking a bit of a break. Yeah, well, it does seem like this hippo has given us all his entertainment for the afternoon. So while he does just rest, why don't we head back over to Victoria Falls, see what's happening there. 2 marabou storks. It was quite amazing the other day on Live at the Waterhole. I had two crocodiles fighting over what looked like either a marabou stork or a vulture. It was quite amazing to see. Oh, while we are here at Victoria Falls, not too much happening. There were some lions seen this morning. It was the first time seeing them on the camera there. Let's take a look at the clip and see what happens. So this was happening early this morning. You can see them hissing. There was apparently a crocodile that was there, and they were hissing at it. You can see that one young male, he's not interested at all. He's moved off. And they seem like they're all three gonna move off from there. I mean, that crocodile's been very, very opportunistic. There's a chance that the crocodile might go for one of them, pull them into the water. But pretty special to see that. Lions coming down to this waterhole here at Victoria Falls. Does seem like it's quite a beautiful day up in Vic Falls. There's a bit of sunshine. Maybe it was raining a little bit earlier. It does look like it's a little bit wet all around here. Pretty much the whole country raining today. Oh, well, seems like those Maribou storks don't want to have any fun with us this afternoon, so why don't we head over to Tower Lodge and see what's happening there. And the rain is falling at Madikwe. That is excellent to see. It's been very, very dry up in Madikwe, so I'm glad there is a little bit of rain. We've got yellow-billed stork, one of the egrets, and a grey heron, as well as a Egyptian goose. Darcy Miller is saying that it's fantastic to see the rain at Madikwe. It is indeed very, very fantastic. And we've been speaking about how we need to see some rain, and we are seeing it. Hopefully it gets a little bit harder and stays constant, because that constant rain and hard rain will then be able to seep into the soil. Seems like there's also quite a bit of wind at Madikwe. Sandy Franklin 69 saying, is that a grey heron? It is indeed a grey heron, Sandy. The black-headed heron, it's very, very similar, but its head is almost completely black, and then it's got black also down the neck. So the grey heron's only got that small little black head stripe, just like we've seen in the picture now. Could almost just sit here and just keep quiet and just watch the rain as it does fall, and be so grateful that it does fall at Madikwe. Looks like the rain is getting harder. So your adults is saying grey heron, and so it's a grey heron, great egret, the yellow-billed stork, and then the Egyptian goose on the right. Dog Made Love, you asking Chad if you could be an animal for a day, what would you be and why? Sure. Just for one day. That's tough. Very tough. I would probably, I'd say an elephant bull. Just a, oof, no, not an elephant bull. Maybe a wild dog. I think like to be an elephant would be amazing because you can just do whatever you want, walk wherever you want. I would just want to push over a marula tree or shake a marula tree, use all my strength. But also a wild dog just to be able to move such huge distances and run at that speed and chase animals. I think I'd go with African wild dog, dark mane lover. Pong, you're saying three different species hanging out together. Hilarious. It's not really. I mean, there is competition, obviously, for food and things like that, but they're not feeding currently. I think they're just standing around, relaxing. But if there wasn't too much food available to them, then I think there might be some competition. They might try to push one another out. They seem like they're happy spending time together. I think they're trying to just shelter themselves from the rain that's currently falling. Been amazing just to sit and listen to the sounds of nature today. I'm just very happy for all the animals up in Madikwe as this rain does fall. I wonder where the crocodile is, because yesterday there was quite a large crocodile that was literally exactly where these birds are resting now. But I think on a day like today, I mean, the crocodile's not going to be able to gain any energy from the sun. It's not really shining too much. So that crocodile might just be in the water somewhere. Yolanda, you're saying, will the crocodile eat these birds? For sure. So crocodiles, they are very, very opportunistic animals. So they will take a bird for sure. And the um, the crocodiles, there were two up in Victoria Falls about 2 weeks ago that I saw fighting over a bird. So I mean, it's just because they're very opportunistic. The opportunity was there. They then took them. So, Benny, you're saying that there were wild dogs at Rosie's Pan. Um, this morning a few hours ago. I do believe that there were wild dogs there. And Jad Bunny, we actually do have a clip. So, talking of those wild dogs, why don't we play the clip? How beautiful is that? Thanks very much, Jad Bunny, for sending through that comment. I said we do have the clip on hand. Look how happy that wild dog is, wagging his tail. That one's very, very dark in color. Not too many spots on it compared to others. How incredible. Always fantastic to see wild dogs. Oof, the wind is picking up. Why don't we have a little bit of a scan maybe around the waterhole and see if there is anything else? And actually already seems like the this waterhole here at Tar Lodge has filled up a little bit. Maybe all the animals are hunkering down because of the weather. They're uncertain of what is this falling from the sky. So it seems like we're gonna just be doing a little bit of birding around. Yeah, it does seem like it is a little bit quiet all over, and I'm pretty sure that's because of the rain. But that's no problem. We've, we've had quite a exciting show already. We're now just gonna have to focus on the smaller things. Red-knob coots, the yellow-billed ducks. These birds are definitely feeling quite happy today. Seems like they're on a feeding frenzy. We're gonna stick with the birds. Let's head over to Naledi and see what the hornbill's up to. There's a red-billed hornbill eating out of some elephant dung. So, I mean, you can see how this hornbill looks like he's feeding basically on the elephant dung, but a hornbill, or this red-billed hornbill, will often feed on small little insects. That's the majority of their diet, and I mean, this elephant dung is a little bit old, so I can only imagine that there's quite a lot of different insects that have made their houses under this elephant dung, and that's exactly what this hornbill is now feeding on. You can see how he's using his beak to push the dung left and right. Darkman Lovey saying beautiful hornbill. It was a beautiful hornbill because now it's disappeared. Oh, it is. There he is. He's just moved to a different pile of dung. Maybe that buffet there was empty. It's amazing. You'll also often see guinea fowl. Guinea fowl also often will feed in and amongst the elephant dung. And elephants, they don't actually digest a lot of their food. So a lot of their food stays undigested. So I mean, some of the hornbills, you might even find them eating fruits or berries out of the elephant dung. And a lot of the animals will come and kick it open just like this hornbill is doing and eat all the insects that are attracted to the dung. Oh, there's another horn. Oh, and Hornbill just chased the other one away. Doesn't want to share his food. So when there's not too much food around for them, then the competition's high. So you have to then chase the other one away. You have the grey lurry in the background. Almost that cry that you hear. Okay, well, it seems like that red-billed hornbill has disappeared, maybe off to some more dung. Why don't we head back over to Kwamaratan and see what the hippo is up to? So the hippo was being a little bit active. Now maybe he knows that we are live on him. Maybe he'll show off us just a little bit. Oh, there he goes. I mean, this hippo, you can see it's quite a small little waterhole here at Kwamaratan. So you might find that this is a younger male that might have been kicked out of a pod quite recently, and he's now taken up his housing at this little waterhole. It's because he probably found the first water that he could find, and he's just spending his time there while he does grow and get big and strong enough to maybe go and take over a pod or have a fight with Another hippo. Dan from the UK is saying, love just listening to the sounds, especially the go-away birds. They are very entertaining. Oh, look at that. Sandy Franklin, you asking what is our winter like? Um, so our winters are, sure, it's actually probably one of the best places to be in winter. The days are quite warm, just depending where you are. I mean, days can be like 18 degrees Celsius to 22 degrees Celsius. But then in the evenings, it does get quite chilly. Um, in some places, can get into the minuses. But most places, I'd say probably 6, 7, 8 degrees Celsius. So not too cold. So we do unfortunately only have about 5 minutes left of the show. So please do send through your last questions and comments. Maybe what's been your highlight of the show so far. Riley saying I've loved this hippo. I think a lot of people have really enjoyed this hippo. It's been the entertainment for the afternoon. Oh, and it has started to now rain at Kwamaratan. Darkman Lovey is saying, Wild Earth, Africans, Chad, and the behind the scenes team, thank you for another great at the Waterhole show. Great job, everyone. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much, Darkman Lover, for always your kind words. Do appreciate that. It has been a great show. We started off with quite a lot of entertainment, elephants. Nice to also recap the highlights of the other show, or um, the clips from this morning and last night. I'm glad you have enjoyed it. Well, that's amazing. I'm glad to see some more rain here at Quiet Marathon. And unfortunately, it is coming to the end of the show. So I do hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their Monday afternoon, wherever you might be in the world. Stay warm, stay out of the and stay dry. And try my best also to stay dry here in Johannesburg. And you can catch me once again tomorrow, the same time, same place, 1 o'clock Central African time. And thanks also for sending through your questions and comments. Loved interacting with you, and do enjoy the rest of your day further, everybody. From me and the rest of the Wild Earth team, thanks very much and have a fantastic one. Goodbye.